What's going on, everybody? This is Shut Up the King, and I am here to do a review for Power Rangers Megaforce Episode 1. Before I get started with this review, as you all know, some of my faithful subscribers, this is a show that's completely outside of the scope of what I normally review. Um, but the reason why I'm actually doing this is because it's very interesting. This show has taken life of its own. I've always watched Power Rangers since I was little. I actually watched the very first Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. I was still in school. This was a long time ago, so I'm telling my age a little bit. But through the years, I've always, stayed in contact with Power Rangers. Whenever the shows came on, um, I watched them. DVR them, and then on the weekends, and sometimes, I'd watch them. The last couple of seasons, and again, this is just a casual watching experience. I never really truly paid attention, but it's kind of something that stays in me. So I would watch. I would keep up with all the new people and Zords and storylines and things of that nature. But it was something about this particular episode that I watched that really intrigued me, and it made me decide to come on here and do a review for it. Power Rangers Megaforce actually took a huge step in bringing back the first nostalgic moments from people who watched the original Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Now there's a lot behind that because, and again, I'll get into details with that later. But they took a lot from the original Power Ranger series and brought it back in a huge way. Like, there were glaring comparisons that could be made to the original cast of the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, and I promise you it'll be seen throughout the season. Let's talk. I'm going to break this down in simple terms. I'm not going to do a full overview of the episode. I'll talk about it, but I just want to get into the cast, the weapons, the Zords, all of that stuff. So the the episode starts off by showing the history of the Power Rangers, and of course you get the obligatory. You can tell who the teammates are going to be right off the bat because they're wearing their color. So the black guy's wearing blue, the girl is wearing pink, the other one is wearing yellow, and the guy who's going to be the leader is wearing red. And it's just all your typical Ranger things. The first thing that I noticed that kind of got me was when the group were considered teenagers and they were in high school. Now, Power Rangers hasn't had younger teenage versions since the originals. Well, I might take that back. If I'm not mistaken, I believe Ninja Storm may have been in high school or school in general. But for the most part, after Mighty Morphin Power Rangers and Ninja Storm, the Rangers were all grown-ups. Light Force, RPM. They were in an alternate reality, but they all had jobs. And even the last one, Samurai, Power Ranger Samurai, the guys, they were just trained samurai. They didn't actually go to school. So this is a step back, not in a bad way, but this is just a step back in that general direction. And they all get called to this cave, and then you find this huge tiki on the wall, and he sounds just like Zordon. And if I'm not mistaken, I have to go back. He actually mentions Zordon, like Zordon put him here to help out in the case of emergency. And you get to see the new Power Ranger lair. It's on this beach cove, and it has a row on each side of all of the other Power Rangers. Now this is where I kind of got my first gripe about the show so far. And again, it's just a nitpicking thing. It always amazes me how all these Rangers are in the same continuity, but no one who comes up ever remembers the other Rangers. So you would think over 20 years of Power Rangers that the new generation of kids would know, even if they were kids when it happened, big giant monsters attacking the city, giant robots, Power Rangers. So none of these guys know what a Power Ranger is, where the Power Ranger comes from. And I'm like, you got 20 years of legacy going on, and this all usually happens on the West Coast. So I'm just like, how do you guys not know who each other are? Unless you're in some sort of parallel universe, which doesn't seem likely because it almost seems like they're in Angel Grove. I mean, for God's sake, the spot they hang out at is Ernie's Juice Bar. Come on, how much more nostalgic moments can you throw at us this season? Goodness. So, but like I said, it's all good. I'm not complaining at all. I actually overall enjoyed the episode. When they actually got their powers, again, felt really nostalgic. They jump out, they fight their versions of putties, and they're actually insects. And it looks like from the conversation that the teacher was having with them in the beginning of class, saying what species would survive ultimately, and they all pretty much said insects or to something to that effect. I kind of knew right there that the main villain would be all insects, which was confirmed. The little putty things are insects, and the main villain sent out their main boss for that episode, and it was also a insect. So insects will be the predominant bad guy for this season, which is fine. I mean, those guys are usually just cannon fodder to show off the Power Ranger effects. So they finally get their morphers, and they morph, and of course, their morphers are bigger versions of the original morphers. Again, if you go back and look, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, they had it's morphin' time. And, with these, it's kind of like these huge tiki things. You put these cars in, you slam it shut, and then you morph. I thought that the morphers were pretty big, and it'd be interesting to see how they carry those things around, if they carry them around at all, because, again, the previous seasons of Power Rangers, technology has upgraded, so usually it'd be like a cell phone, or in, Samurai, it'd be like a little, like, I guess, calligraphy pen, or whatever the case may be. So it'd be interesting to see how they carry around these huge morphers. Again, like I said, I won't cast judgment on it yet, because I haven't seen them in their everyday lives after they, have had their first battle, which they just did. Also, a point that I want to discuss is the weapons. Alright, again, another nod to the original Power Rangers. Of course, Red Ranger always has the sword, and he has the Dragon Sword. The Black Ranger has a battle axe. The Blue Ranger has a bow. So, well, Billy had like a staff with two blades on the end of them, so I guess that was a little bit different. But the Pink Ranger had a Phoenix blade, and the Yellow Ranger had a tiger cuff on her arm. Again, Yellow Ranger's Zord pretty much matches up to the original Mighty Morphin Power Ranger. I want to put that out there. The Shark Zord has been done before as well. The Dragon Zord has already been done before, and I think the Phoenix Zord, I think Kimberly ended up getting a Phoenix herself later on. So the Zords themselves are being a little bit recycled, but I saw a preview of how the Zords look, and they do look amazing. To the point where I would actually go out and buy at least the Red Dragon Zord, because it looks fantastic from what I saw. So I'll give it a couple episodes till it actually premieres, but the Zords look fantastic. The weapons look good, and even when they ended up combining the weapons to create the huge Megaforce weapon they used to finally finish off the enemy, it was, again, all nostalgic of the first season of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. So overall, I was impressed. I can promise you this show will do well. The merchandising alone is going to go through the roof, because you got Zords, you got Power Blasters they ended up using, they got their own separate weapons, and they have these little cards, and this was a new introduction, and I know this is going to turn into some sort of package that you can go to the store and buy, and you'll have the different cards that you can buy separately with different little weapons and power-ups and things of that nature. They are going to make a killing off this show. But I think I got everything out that I wanted to say about this show. I'm going to review the first 3 episodes, just trying to get a feel for it. I won't promise you that I'll review every single episode, because a lot of times with Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, there are a lot of cannon fodder episodes and Christmas specials, but I promise you, I will review majority of the episodes that interest me, and if I have anything particular to say, I'll come out and bring a review for you guys. I'm going to give this first episodes of Megaforce a 4 out of 5. I think it was a brilliant introduction to a new generation of fans, and it also provided, older guys like myself a nostalgic feel to the original Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. I definitely think I'll stick around and watch the rest of the season. They made a believer out of me. Definitely can't wait to see the new Zords. It'll be really interesting to see exactly how they introduce themselves into the whole new Megazord. And last but not least, um, again, keep in mind that Power Rangers in Japan is already like 2 or 3 seasons ahead. And this particular season was supposed to be with Pirate Rangers. In Japan, these Rangers are pirates. But in America, they're like the Mega Force and everything like that, which is a little bit different. But there is supposed to be a 20-year anniversary Power Ranger episode where every single Power Ranger from every single season is going to get together for one huge battle. And I think they actually, if you watch the episode and some of the previews, they actually show a bunch of Rangers running at a bunch of enemies. And that's what it is. Every Ranger from every single season is going to be in an episode. They already did it over in Japan like 2 years ago. And it looks like they're going to bring that episode over to America. So I was super excited about that. I'm just hoping that they get the original cast to come back. Most likely they won't. I think Tommy will probably make an appearance. Jason David Frank, maybe he'll do that because he's doing MMA right now. So I don't know if he's ready to go back. But all the different Rangers will make an appearance. But I want to know what you guys thought. You know, what did you think of the episode of the first episode of Power Rangers? Did you notice any of the nostalgic moments like I did? Also, keep in mind the Blue Ranger, who is akin to Billy, is also the science nerd. So I thought that was another little nod that they did. But comment in the section below. Thumbs up the video if you could. And if you guys are interested in Power Rangers and stuff for that matter, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and definitely check out some of my other videos. I review Naruto, Bleach, Young Justice, and I also do more adult videos from The Walking Dead to True Blood. I cover everything. I am a jack of all trades, but master of all. Showed Up the King. You guys have an awesome day.